No pun intended, where the ducks go. You guys, I had to stop. Ugh. Oh, it died. Not even going to apologize. Like, it consumed me. But don't like suggest that you're going to have an erotic scene and then not. Okay, so I'm on my way somewhere very Christmassy. We're going to the Festival of Trees. And I literally just came from Christmas in New York. So, not even going to apologize for my festive ensemble. Here I am to give you just a really quick wrap-up of what I read while we were on our trip. Basically, it's the stuff from my Friday Reads video last week. Sort of. My tablet died, so the ebook I read, the 2 ebooks I read, we're gonna have to do on my phone. Sorry. First off, I finished What Lies Beneath by Richard Denny. Loved it. I knew I would. So no surprise there. But Richard had a really great story. I really liked it. The ending killed me. No pun intended. I didn't see it coming. Like, I'm usually pretty good at predicting books, and I knew something was kind of up. Not to spoil it for you guys, because you have to go read it. You really do. But not to spoil it for you guys. So I'll just say that I kind of knew something was gonna happen with him. Didn't quite expect that. So, yeah. I loved that it had a trans character in it. I really just want to note that it was so great. Oh, it died. My phone shut off. Was it gone a long time? I don't know. Anyway. So anyway, respect for that, because yes, that's great. Check it out. What Lies Beneath by Richard Denny. It's the story of Blair, who in the very, very first page, she's trying to be, her boyfriend's trying to murder her. And he doesn't succeed, and in the hospital, she's all confused about it because she was so sure that he loved her and he wanted to marry her, and so it was really confusing for her. And then she finds out he's dead. They find his arm, I think, or something in the lake where he tried to drown her. And very shortly after, he starts communicating with her. Like, he starts sending her messages and creepy notes and things, and so of course she's all confused and freaked out, and why did he try to kill her, and all that. And it's great. It's a cool sort of mystery with a horror flourish in it. I loved it. It was really fun, great, engaging, fast-paced. It was awesome. I can't recommend it enough. So highly recommend. Check it out. What Lies Beneath by Richard Denny. So I also devoured, I can't even say read, because I didn't, I just it consumed me. But Catcher in the Rye by J.D. Salinger. This was a reread, as you know. You guys, I did not appreciate this book the first time I read it. The first time I read it, I liked it. I thought it was great, I thought it was fine. I could understand how it's a classic and why everyone raves about it. But I read it the first time for Banned Books Week, and I just kind of selected it at random. It just was well, that's a classic, it's one everyone should read. I didn't happen to have to read it for required reading in school or anything, so I thought, well, okay, it's one everyone should read, we'll grab it. I read it, it was fine, I liked it, and I could understand why it was classic, it was great. I, rated it as the top highest rating you can on all this stuff. But this time, it spoke to me. Look how many times I marked it, and it got a little beat up, and there are highlights and notes everywhere throughout, all this stuff, and I even have, all this, anyway, ugh, I can't get over this. I have beyond book hangover for this book this time. I don't know, maybe I was just in the right frame of mind or the right place in my life, I don't know, but I saw so much. There is so much pain and loneliness and this idea of Holden searching and seeking for authenticity. that I just got, like, I got it. I understood it, and I loved it, and I'm at a loss for words in how obsessed I am with this book right now. I'm about halfway through the documentary on Netflix on J.D. Salinger, and I'm loving that. Really fascinating. We were in Central Park, and I had this book with me. I have like a selfie on Instagram about it, or whatever, but I marked the parts where he talks about the pond and the ducks, and this like wondering of where the ducks go in the winter at the pond at Central Park. And it's just such a great theme of, you know, what's gonna happen. You know, Holden's kind of thinking, what happens to the ducks in the wintertime? And, you know, what's gonna, it's this frame of mind of what's gonna happen to me. And he asks these random people about it, and they're so confused by his question and things. And anyway, it's just Holden searching. I think I'm gonna do a whole discussion video on this book because, like, I can't get over it. I loved it so much, and I'm so glad I read it when I did. I'm so glad that I carried it around New York City with me because it really made me happy. Catcher in the Rye by J.D. Salinger. Please read it if you haven't. A lot of people hate it, and I can see why, but this is just, like, my favorite book right now. That's just all there is to it. That's where I'm at. In my Friday Reads last week, I said I was taking Star Wars, and I opted against it just because I didn't want to put another print book in my bag. I thought, well, if I finish those, I'll do another ebook just so, I mean, my luggage was so full. Started Even Villains Fall in Love by Liana Brooks. You guys, I had to stop. Like, I'm so disappointed. Here's the thing. I have been following this author on Twitter for years, like a long time. I love what she says on Twitter. I love it. She goes on perfect rants about, like, really important issues, and she speaks very well about it, and she doesn't hold back, and, you know, but she's still a delightful person, and she gives great writing advice. She's an editor and all this stuff. In reading her book, though, this is the first book of hers I've read. I finally, like, I've had it for a long time, and I've been wanting to read her stuff. And I started this, and it really read very much like you could feel the formula, if that makes sense. Like, it just felt very, it was so surface to me. I got, I don't know, maybe 30% into it, and, like, nothing real was happening, and it was just kind of the same. I feel like it was the same chapter over and over and over again, and I don't know if I'm gonna finish it. I've put it down for now, and I feel bad. A big problem with it is this, like, erotica teaser. Like, she keeps hinting that it's gonna start, like, that it's gonna cross the line into erotica, but she hasn't yet, and I'm like 35–40% into the book, and that hasn't happened. Like, well, I'm not even sure how far, maybe not even that far into it, but, like, she just hasn't crossed the line into that, which is fine too, but don't, like, suggest that you're going to have an erotic scene and then not. You know, it needs to be towards the beginning, so I understand that that's what this book is about, and that's what's going to be a part of the plot, which I don't mind. I don't even mind erotic. I don't mind if it gets graphic. Like, that's whatever. Like, that's fine. But either do it or don't do it. Commit or commit to not. Like, don't kind of toe the line. It's not working for me. I don't want to say, like, don't read this book, because it really might work for some people, but for me, I need something a little more engaging and a little more thoughtful and just not so, like, surface, if that kind of makes sense. It's just not, anyway. If you are interested, it is about a superhero and a supervillain who are married, and they're both kind of retired. They're both retired. Dr. Charm is the supervillain, which I feel like is not a great name for a supervillain. But, okay, whatever, it makes sense, but didn't work for me. But he, you know, is retired when he's really not. He's got what he calls the morality machine that basically keeps his superhero wife in love with him. And she, you know, they're married and they have these 4 kids, and she decides the kids have turned 5, and she decides she wants to go back to work. So she suddenly goes back to work as a superhero, and the supervillain is kind of left at home with the kids and trying to secretly be a supervillain at the same time. Which is a great idea. It just isn't translating for me. Let's see. I'm still going with The Historian by Elizabeth Kostova. Yeah. That's just a quick wrap up. Be watching for a Catcher in the Rye discussion / review, because it was fantastic. Can't get over that. Thumbs up the video, subscribe for more if you liked it, please and thank you.